All right, settle in, you linguistic night owls, and welcome to a special After Dark edition of the Deep Dive.
Sounds intriguing.
Doesn't it? Tonight we're kind of doing a bit of educational espionage, you could say.
Well,
Yeah, sneaking a peek at some pretty fascinating intel. It's from the front lines of language learning. Specifically, we've got our hands on the actual English class notes from Academia BSB.
okay.
Yeah, for one of their VIP students, Eugênia. These notes were put together by her teacher, Paulo, from their lesson back on May 19th, 2025.
Right. So quite recent notes.
Exactly. Think of it as us shining a sort of late-night spotlight on the building blocks of English. Our mission tonight, really just explore the nuts and bolts, the words, the phrases, how we connect.
The good stuff.
The really good stuff. So yeah, dim the lights, maybe grab a mug of something warm. Let's get started.
Absolutely. And what we have here, it isn't just, a list of words. It's really a window into that active process, the process of learning a new language. It's about understanding not just what these words mean, like on their own, but how they actually work together, how they create meaning. It's quite revealing, actually, to see the specific things they focused on.
Definitely. Let's kick things off then with the vocabulary under current class. Now we'll go through each one, and even if some seem, pretty simple on the surface, we'll try to dig a little deeper, see what makes them tick. First up, to ICU.
Okay.
We probably all know it stands for Intensive Care Unit, but it's actually a great example of how English uses abbreviations, doesn't it, to create this efficient, specialized language, especially in fields like medicine.
Precisely. It's a linguistic shortcut. Professionals understand it instantly, saves time, ensures clarity, especially in critical situations.
Yeah, you wouldn't spell it out in a hospital setting, would you?
Not typically, no.
Yeah. Okay, next we have to follow up. It's a common one, but think about how versatile it is. You can follow up on an email, right? Or a sales lead, a doctor's appointment. It always implies that sort of second step, doesn't it? A continuation of something that's already started.
That sense of continuation is definitely key.
Yeah.
It's just a process or maybe a sequence of actions rather than just, one single event.
Right. Then we've got worries and weak. Pretty fundamental words, I suppose.
Yeah, basic but important.
They tap into core human experiences, don't they? Anxiety, lack of physical strength, words we all just get on a gut level.
Now, here's a classic pair that often trips people up. Trip versus travel.
Ah, yes, the classic confusion.
So what's the actual difference there? What's the nuance?
Well, a helpful way to think about it is that a trip usually has like a specific destination and a defined time frame.
Okay.
A weekend trip to the mountains, maybe a school trip. Travel is broader. It's the act of going from one place to another. Often involves greater distance or, longer duration.
So like you might travel for work. Exactly. You might travel extensively for work, and during that travel, you take many individual trips.
Ah, okay. So travel is the big umbrella, and trip is a specific little journey underneath it. That makes sense.
Precisely.
Then we have missing. That carries that sort of emotional weight, doesn't it? Something lost or absent. And skipping, which feels more like an active choice to just omit something.
Yeah, exactly. You miss your friend who moved away.
Right.
But you might skip breakfast if you're late.
The intentionality is the key difference then.
I think so, yeah. Skipping implies that conscious decision. Missing often doesn't. It just happens to you.
Got it. Here's a neat one Paula put together. Pace, rhythm.
Ooh, I like that pairing.
Yeah, me too. Thinking of pace as the rhythm of something like a runner's stride or how someone speaks, it really helps you feel the flow, the underlying beat. It's not just about speed.
Exactly. Rhythm adds that sort of layer of musicality almost to the idea of pace. It's about the pattern, the cadence. Really good connection there.
Moving on, evolving, that slow, gradual process of change. Like technology evolving.
Constant change over time.
And pneumonia, a specific medical term. Back to that need for precise vocabulary in certain areas.
Right. Lung infection, you need the right word.
Then since. This one's interesting because it can do two things, right? It can mark a point in time since last year.
Yeah.
Or it can give a reason since it was raining.
Yeah, dual function, yeah. Time and cause. It makes sense. A really efficient little connector word in English sentences.
Yeah.
Very useful.
Very. Okay. Healthy diet, straightforward enough, focusing on nutritious food. Now, this next pairing creates a great mental image. Kitchen cabinet versus supermarket shelf.
Ah, yes. the journey of food.
Exactly. One is personal storage at home. The other is where you buy it, the point of sale.
And the different contexts mean we use different language, too. You find ingredients in your kitchen cabinet.
Like you buy them from a supermarket shelf.
Yeah.
Yeah. Disgusted, strong feeling, revulsion. And then we get some contrasts. Verbs, to lose and to win. The binary outcomes, basically.
Competition, yeah.
And adjectives. Loose and tight, describing fit. These opposites really help lock in the meaning, don't they?
Absolutely. Understanding antonyms is like a fundamental strategy when you're learning vocabulary.
Yeah.
Makes things much clearer.
Totally. Thin, the opposite of thick. Then we bump into some important social terms. Child labor.
A heavy one.
Yeah, a stark reminder of exploitation. And illegal against the law. Simple but crucial. Grown woman just means an adult female, and interaction, how we engage, how we communicate with each other.
And these terms, even though they seem basic, are absolutely essential if we're talking about, complex social issues, but also just everyday relationships.
Right. Now let's look at these verbs about knowing and encountering people or places. To know, just having information.
Got the facts.
To meet, coming into someone's presence, often for the first time. To visit, going to see someone or a place. And then just to go to a place. Now, is there a real difference between to visit and to go to a place? Or is it subtle?
There is, yeah. It's a good question. To go to a place is super general, isn't it? You go to the store, you go to work.
Right.
To visit usually implies a more specific purpose, often social or maybe recreational. You visit friends, you visit a museum. It suggests a more intentional act, and often for a shorter time than just going somewhere.
Ah, okay. The purpose often dictates the verb. That makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
Okay. Then we have to guess, forming an opinion without really being sure.
An educated guess, maybe? Or just a wild one?
Could be. And this helpful trio, get better, to heal, cure. Looks like Paolo really wanted Eugênia to see those connections.
Yeah, recognizing synonyms like these lets you be more varied, more nuanced when you speak or write. Get better is the most general one. Heal often suggests a more natural recovery process, like a cut healing. And cure implies, a complete fix. The illness is gone.
Right, like finding a cure for something. Got it. We also have overweight above regular weight and underweight to be below the regular weight. Pretty straightforward synonyms there, just clarifying the meaning.
Just defining the terms clearly.
And finally in this section, occurs, happens. Another essential pairing. Simple, but you use them all the time.
Absolutely. Interchangeable in many cases.
All right, that was a solid vocabulary workout. Feeling stronger.
Definitely feeling more knowledgeable.
Good. Now let's dive into the perhaps more colorful side of English, the idiomatic expressions.
Ah, yes. The fun part. Idioms add so much richness, so much personality to the language. But they can be tricky, can't they? Because the meaning often isn't literal at all.
Not at all.
Understanding them really bumps up your comprehension level.
It really does. First one up is keep it to yourself. Paolo explains it as to avoid telling others something, especially to protect them from worry or distress. The example given is, when Grandpa found out he had high blood pressure, he decided to keep it to himself so the kids wouldn't worry. That feels very real, doesn't it? That desire in families to shield loved ones.
Very common. Yeah.
Or like, imagine a student gets a big scholarship offer but wants to surprise their family later. They might keep it to themselves for a bit.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It often involves that conscious decision, doesn't it? To hold back information. And the reasons can vary. Protecting feelings, planning a surprise, like you said, could be lots of things.
Right. Next, we've got the slightly more spicy one, to get your shit together.
Yes. Handle with care.
Definitely. Paolo rightly notes it's informal slang and slightly vulgar, advising caution, especially in classrooms. The meaning, to become organized and responsible. The example, after Mom's surgery, Dad told me I had to get my shit together and start helping around the house more. It's definitely a very direct way to tell someone they need to take charge.
It is. It's blunt. It implies a need for, significant improvement in organization, responsibility, focus. A slightly milder way, maybe, to get a similar idea across might be something like, look, it's time for you to really focus and get organized with your responsibilities now. Less forceful.
Right, less shocking. But the cool message is the same. Take control, be more responsible. Okay, our next idiom is a wake-up call, explained as a situation that makes people realize something important.
It's a sudden realization.
The example, when Aunt Laura fainted at work, it was a wake-up call for everyone to take better care of their health. We all have those moments, don't we? The ones that just snap us into reality.
Absolutely.
Maybe getting a flat tire on the way to a really important meeting is a wake-up call to finally get your car properly maintained, not just about health.
Good example. It's that sudden realization, often triggered by something negative, unfortunately, that makes you change your perspective or your behavior.
Exactly. Then we have the gentle, under the weather, meaning a gentle and informal way to say someone is not feeling well.
Nice and soft, this one.
Yeah. Example, Grandma's feeling under the weather today, so she's staying in bed with some soup. It's such a nice, understated way to say you're just not quite yourself, isn't it?
It is.
You might say this if you just have a mild headache or feel a bit off, maybe a bit tired.
And its informality makes it perfect for just casual conversation. You know, when you don't want to give all the gory details about why you're feeling unwell.
Precisely. Run in the family is next, meaning a trait or condition that is common among family members.
Inheritance, basically.
Yeah. The example, diabetes seems to run in the family, so we all have to watch what we eat. But this can apply to so many things, right? Not just health conditions.
Oh, absolutely.
Maybe a great sense of humor runs in the family. Or musical talent.
Exactly. It highlights that pattern of inheritance. Could be physical, could be behavioral, could be a talent. Like you said, anything passed down.
Right. In good shape,
Yeah.
this means. Physically healthy or fit can also refer to emotional or mental well-being.
That's important. The dual meaning.
Yeah. The example. After his rehab, Uncle Joe finally got back in good shape and started jogging again. Physical fitness. But it's great that it covers the mental side, too. Someone who's overcome a period of depression, for instance, could definitely be described as being in good shape emotionally now.
Absolutely. That dual meaning reflects a more holistic view of health, doesn't it? Recognizing that our physical and mental states are totally interconnected.
Couldn't agree more. Okay, our next idiom is a bit more serious. To take a toll on. Meaning something that gradually causes damage or stress over time.
The slow burn effect.
Exactly. The example, caring for 3 kids and a sick parent can really take a toll on your health. It really emphasizes that cumulative impact, the buildup of stress or difficulty. Even something less dramatic, like a really long commute every single day, can eventually take a toll on your energy levels, your mood.
For sure. And that gradual aspect is crucial. It's the sustained pressure, the constant effort that leads to those negative consequences over time. It's not usually one sudden thing.
Right, to bottle things up, meaning to hide your feelings instead of expressing them.
Keeping it all inside.
Yeah, the example. If you always bottle things up, it might affect your mental health and even your relationships. It's quite a powerful image, isn't it? Containing emotions like they're in a bottle.
It is.
We often hear about how important it is not to bottle things up, to communicate openly instead.
Yes, and the idiom highlights those potential negative consequences, doesn't it? Both for the person themselves and for their connections with others, if you don't let it out.
Yeah, it can cause problems. Okay, on the mend is a more positive one, meaning recovering from illness or injury.
Getting better.
Yep, the example. After a few days in bed, she's finally on the mend and able to sit at the table again. It suggests that return to health, that upward curve.
Definitely positive.
And you could use it more broadly too, couldn't you? Like after a really challenging, stressful project at work, you might feel like your energy levels are finally on the mend. You can relax a bit.
Good point. Yeah, it signifies progress, a positive direction towards recovery or just back to a normal state after something difficult.
Okay, and finally we have to blow off steam, meaning to release stress or anger.
Letting it out.
Yeah. Like the example, Dad went for a long walk to blow off steam after a stressful day caring for Grandma. It emphasizes that need we all have for healthy ways to manage those negative emotions, right? Stress, anger.
Absolutely essential.
Going to the gym, listening to loud music, talking to a friend. Lots of ways people blow off steam.
Exactly. Finding those constructive outlets for stress is just vital for maintaining well-being. Can't keep it all bottled up.
See? It all connects. Well, wow. Diving into Eugenia's English class notes like this, it's given us a really fantastic look at the building blocks of communication.
It really has, from the essential words to those colorful idioms.
Yeah. And it's such a wonderful reminder, isn't it, that learning a language is so much more than just memorizing rules or lists.
Oh, absolutely.
It's really about unlocking that ability to connect with other people and maybe understand the world in a, I don't know, richer way.
Definitely. A different perspective.
Every new word you learn, every idiom you finally get,
Yeah.
it's another step on that journey of connection.
Well said.
Because ultimately, and I think this is something Academia BSB really embodies beautifully, it's not only about the language, it's all about communication.
Couldn't agree more. It's all about communication.